From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, we've seen a pretty nice day today with a little bit of some sunshine and some clouds mixing in, but man, we're having a beautiful sunset right now. We're seeing temperatures into the 30s with beautiful sunset colors on the sky, and we're still seeing the 20s, upper 20s here in Lansing and Grand Ledge. It's one of those days that you want to bottle up and keep in the pocket for later, especially later this week, as we have the chance for snow to return to the forecast. Wind chill temperatures right now are into the teens and 20s, and we're also going to see those clouds on our satellite and radar rather quiet across the area, and we're still going to see some clear skies for tonight. Over the next 12 hours, we'll continue to see those temperatures drop back down into the teens, and those clouds are on the increase ahead for our day tomorrow. All the details coming up in just a little bit. 6 News at 5:30 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5:30.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Let's start the clock in our first 6 minutes of news, and we begin tonight with a pair of ice anglers rescued in Saginaw Bay, and a reminder tonight from first responders that no ice is safe.
Rescue reef.
Roger, switch deployment at the basket to the survivor, 60 feet up on hub, 280 on the heading. Any questions?
No questions.
Roger.
A chopper crew from the Coast Guard's Detroit Air Station picked up these two Michiganders on Sunday. They were stranded on the ice and needed to be hoisted by a basket and flown to shore. Air Station Detroit has been called to multiple rescue assists in the Great Lakes region in recent weeks as the ice has formed on open water, and then it melted, broke up, and left some people stranded offshore. In Kalamazoo, a man was sentenced last week to between 12 and 50 years in prison for a sexual assault that he committed in 2005. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel made the announcement today. In November, a jury convicted Sean Hopkins of attacking a 14-year-old girl. The victim went to police when the attack happened but did not know Hopkins' name. The case was picked up by the Kalamazoo Sexual Assault Kit Initiative, which was able to solve the case using DNA evidence. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel made another announcement today that she is joining 22 other attorneys general in suing the Trump administration over cutting funding for medical research at universities across the country.
This administration leaves behind a web of chaos and confusion for everyone, from Meals on Wheels recipients to Medicaid patients to essential emergency services for law enforcement, and now this, public health.
The lawsuit, which was filed in federal court in Boston, also names the Department of Health and Human Services and the National Institutes of Health. Last week, the NIH announced it was cutting payments toward overhead costs. According to the lawsuit, the University of Michigan would lose $181 million, cutting into 425 medical trials happening now. 2 Detroit men are now under arrest, and police say they stole mail from Macomb County businesses, including checks totaling almost $1 million. The Shelby Township Police Department and the U.S. Postal Inspection Service worked together to watch mailboxes that were known to be compromised, leading to the arrest of Daryl Roberts and Brad Stewart. They are both charged with conducting a criminal enterprise. Across Michigan, the average gas price is 7 cents higher now than it was a week ago, but it's also 12 cents less than it was this time last year. According to AAA, the statewide average is now $3.09. In the Lansing area, it is now $3.06. In Jackson, just a penny more at $3.07. In Maryland, moving on, the leader of a neo-Nazi group was found guilty today of conspiring to attack the state power grid as part of a terrorist plot. The jury deliberated for less than an hour before finding Brandon Russell guilty. Russell, who is a co-founder of the neo-Nazi Adam Waffen Division, faces up to 20 years in prison. Another member of the plot, Sarah Beth Clandaniel, took a plea deal in September and is serving 18 years in prison. And in the nation's capital, dozens of USAID workers showed up for work today, but were turned away by federal officers. The Trump administration ordered almost every single agency staffer to stop working worldwide, but a federal judge blocked that order. Others who came to protest the administration said the closure of USAID does not just hurt foreigners, but Americans who do jobs to support those efforts.
And that actually benefited American farmers. It benefited the American workers who load food into rail cars and send it to ports, and those who actually load and unload at ports.
The president signed an executive order freezing foreign assistance so the administration could review spending that it says is not aligned with President Trump's agenda. Looking at global news now, at least 40 people were killed when a bus crashed into a ravine in Guatemala this morning. Local media there reports it could be as many as 54 people dead. They also say several people were rescued from the wreckage. Officials are investigating why the bus went out of control and drove off a bridge and into the ravine. Today in Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu testified in his corruption trial over the case involving gifts from millionaires and easing regulations on the media in return for favorable coverage. Prime Minister Netanyahu pleaded not guilty. The 75-year-old is Israel's first PM to be charged with a crime. He calls the case a witch hunt. Meanwhile, South Korea and U.S. military forces held joint live fire exercises on the Korean Peninsula today. They involved tanks, helicopters, and more than 2,000 troops. It's part of a 3-week exercise which North Korean leader Kim Jong-un called a grave threat. Kim announced he will ramp up his country's nuclear weapons program in response. All right, lightening things up now. In India, pedestrians were surprised when musician Ed Sheeran stopped on a sidewalk and started a surprise concert, and then the police stepped in. Well, this video captured by a witness is now making the rounds online. This actually happened last month. Shortly after Sheeran appeared, police shut him down, saying he did not have permission to perform. But the star says he did get permission and that he wasn't just, quote, randomly turning up.
The enigma of my absent eyebrows. In the gentle whispers of time, it is said that my visage was once adorned with both eyebrows and eyelashes.
Well, that is the voice of a new app powered by artificial intelligence that lets visitors have conversations with masterpieces, including Mona Lisa. It's called Ask Mona, and it's on display in Paris, which is hosting a global summit on AI. The developers say they were inspired by the Harry Potter novels where characters speak with paintings. Very fun.
Honestly, that's so fun. I mean, it's just a new and creative way to incorporate technology with art.
Absolutely, and learn a little bit too.
Exactly, and we'll eventually see end to this nice weather, and we'll have the chance for some snow showers back in the forecast as well.
All right, your full forecast